Chaotic, hilarious, and thought-provoking, Eternity mixes romance with the afterlife and wrestles with questions of love and meaning in the real world. I've seen it, so let's talk about it. If you had to choose whether to spend eternity with your perfect first husband or your flawed second husband of more than 60 years, who would you pick? I know my answer, but Eternity makes it a bit more complicated. It's the rom-com I have been missing since the 10 Things I Hate About You era. Now, Eternity's version of the afterlife is very similar to the world we're living in now, only you can't die again. Your first stop before enjoying eternity is a train junction where you have 1 week to decide in which fabricated world you will spend your eternity, and with whom. It's weirdly similar to a sales convention. Every day, souls who work in the junction set up displays and compete with each other to sell their eternity. It would be very overwhelming as someone just finding out that they're dead. The script is strong, funny, and like I said before, thought-provoking. And the strongest part of the story is the central question, which is, what does love mean in this world? The story suggests you don't need to find the perfect person, but love means bickering, sacrifices, and putting up with each other's flaws. It's a really good commentary on what it looks like to love another person in this world. Human love isn't perfect, and there is a beauty in that. The way this film is shot is nostalgic and gorgeous. The soundtrack, costumes, set, and prop design are inspired by the 50s and 60s America and give a utopian feel to a place with very subtle dystopian undertones. The locations are perfect, both from a filmmaking perspective and for the characters in the film. There are crystal clear streams and towering mountains that pay homage to the beautiful world God gave to us to enjoy now. And I'm a costumer, so I always love a good cast of clothing. And the colors in their costumes are not only aesthetically pleasing, but they were specifically chosen to connect and separate characters from each other and from the world that they interact with. Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen have amazing chemistry, believably and hilariously playing great-grandparents return to their 30-year-old bodies. And Divine Joy Randolph, who's known for playing the police detective on Only Murders in the Building, gives a standout comedic performance. I loved every moment she was on screen, not only for her jokes, but for her ability to switch into serious conversations. Callum Turner plays the perfect first husband, and to me his character was a little bland, but that could be an intentional choice in the writing to suggest that worldly perfection is not only unattainable, but ultimately undesirable. For content to consider, there is moderate language, including the S-word, F-bomb, GD, etc. And no blood or gore there for violence, but several people are tackled by policemen. 2 male leads engage in a very comedic wrestling match, and 1 man is punched in the stomach. For sexuality, there are 2 depictions of a married couple having sex, but it is either mostly off-screen or the couple is covered in blankets. A naked man's buttocks are shown in an ad for one of the eternities, and 1 woman mentions how her happiest moments took place with her lesbian lover. There are also several possible eternities that are advertised featuring Satanism or XXX related activities, etc. One in particular is related to sexual identity, but nothing is shown other than the titles of the worlds and non-explicit pictures in ads and flyers. For themes and worldview, this film obviously deals with the concept of the afterlife, but it suggests that there is no heaven and hell. Now, the end times and afterlife has long been debated, and will be until they come, but it is obvious that the afterlife depicted in the film does not align with a biblical worldview. Scripture is clear that there is a heaven and a hell, and our decision to accept or reject Christ determines which of the 2 realms we will exist in for all of eternity. Heaven is described as ultimate communion with God, and hell is eternal separation from Him. Paul writes in 2 Thessalonians 1:9 that whoever worships the gods of the earth will suffer the punishment of eternal destruction away from the presence of the Lord and from the glory of His might. But for those who believe, Revelation 21:4 says He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain any more, for the former things have passed away. Eternity will not just be a continuation of the world we inhabit now. The old will pass away and all will be made new. If the afterlife were the same as the world we live in now, to me, I think what would be the point? In the end, Eternity is pretty to look at, entertaining, and thought-provoking. The cast was stellar and the world building was strong. And I can see this film being considered for award nominations, but it may ultimately lack the hard-hitting commentary required to win. I personally really enjoyed this film, and on the car ride home, I felt a renewed energy and appreciation for my own life and the people in it. Christian audiences shouldn't go in expecting to see a theologically accurate presentation of heaven and hell, but it is worth seeing if only to wrestle with an interesting hypothetical world created by a secular mind. But I would love to hear what you think, so jump into the comments section and let's have a conversation about it. And if you haven't done so yet, subscribe and become a Collider. We have a lot of other fun and interesting things. We've got other movie reviews, we have interviews, we have the Faith and Pop Culture podcast. Most importantly, stay safe and continue to collide with your world for Christ. Happy Thanksgiving.